I believe I can fly solo just as well. Here we go. So, both players starting at Link's house. No, I didn't see that. Who? And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe if you check the fine print, you'll find that it is required to be Kane. Or if you prefer the original Phantom Ryu version, that's gotta be Kane! Alright. So we've got rupees from the tree pull, we've got a piece of heart from the uncle. And Jet is heading into the other chest, and that's going to be just 20 rupees. The single arrow in the lumberjack cave. So single arrow. Jet picking up his Cane of Samaria. The Cane of Samaria actually a much more interesting weapon than you think it is. It can get a lot of things done. It tends to deal, I believe, fighter sword damage to whatever it hits with the block and with the projectiles that shoot from the block. Well, you have quite a treasure there in that Cane of Samaria. That's, That's precisely what happened. Alright, so both players are heading up toward Kakariko now. Kakariko Village, known for having tons and tons and tons of items. But sometimes it can be a complete bust. So, ProblemsIRL is heading into the Blind's Hut. Now, Blind's Hut has a bombable wall in the back for which one item hides behind, but you need a bomb to get there. Yeah, the Cane of Samaria block will help with dark navigation, that is true. Alright, so the shovel found inside Blind's Hut, as well as 300 rupees, which will allow him to purchase another 20 from the bottle vendor. Ooh! So one of the three pull tiers was bombs. I'm thinking that was probably tier 2. And there's a sword in the back of the tavern. Could have been tier 1 or tier 3 if Jet never took any damage. Alrighty, so ProblemsIRL heading back into Blind's Hut to pick up that remaining item, and Jet's about to pick it up himself. We've got the silver arrows! Alright. So shiny shafts to fire from your arrows. Unfortunately, the implement for firing those is nowhere to be found at the moment. Both of these, one of these runners is 2-1, Jet is 2-1, and Problems is 1-2. This is sort of the pair down match for the Swiss portion at this point. When there's an odd number of one record, you can't pair everybody with the same record. Alright, so, just a bunch of junk here in Kakariko as well. Alright, yes, we did have a map check while I was distracted by something. We had a pendant in Eastern Palace and crystals in 1 and 4. Or crystals 1 and 4 in the other two dungeons, Desert and Hera. So, piece of heart in the chicken hut. Looks like we got a bunch of problems memes in the chat, and I'm all for it. Show your support for these runners. And just bombs in the library. What do we have here? On the race game, 300 rupees. So Problems may go get those rupees, because you'll want to get enough rupees for Zora. And Zora has 300 rupees for that. Jet is not gonna... Or Jet actually has plenty of rupees. Gonna do the digging game. Or not digging game, the digging spot. How about we use some words? Just a piece of heart there as well. So far we're equipped with a sword, the Cane of Samaria, and silver arrows which you can't fire. So we're just going to be heading on to pick up some more locations. So South Hyrule is Jet's next destination. And here we're going to check the dam area and the Mini Moldorm Cave. Yes, words are nice. I find them to be overrated occasionally. There is the bottle. So there's an empty bottle inside the dam. That will give them access to the sick kid, which is going to be quite a place to remember. Because sometimes you forget about the sick kid. Alright, so Problems will now be heading into the uncle's escape tunnel. Meanwhile, Jet will be heading into the Mini Moldorm Cave. So here in Mini Moldorm Cave, you got 4 Mini Moldorms, you gotta kill them all. Helps to have a sword, that's not bad. Bombs also work. Bow, hook shot, lots of different items work. And Jet will find 20 rupees, bombs, 50 rupees, big love, and 20 rupees. So once again, not much there. Now Problems, armed with a sword, will be heading into the first part of the actual escape. That's going to make things easier on him with the sword. You don't want to go in there without a sword if you can help it. Because killing these guards with bombs requires precise knowledge, and there is the mirror! ProblemsIRL picking up some self-reflection in a chest and then moving down towards Zelda. Or rather, the place where Zelda was. Zelda is already pre-rescued in open mode. Jet picks up just 20 rupees in the Ice Rod Cave and elects not to do the fake flipper glitch at the moment on account of not having, well, the flippers which you wouldn't need to fake flipper, or the Moon Pearl which will allow you to get into the tunnel. And there's the hammer for ProblemsIRL in the escape. So stop, everybody. It's hammer time. Complete with parachute pants, they're all ready to go. Alright, so ProblemsIRL picking up a pot, gonna toss it at this guard, and then gonna pick up another pot and toss it at this guard. Double pot strats. Zelda's chest has a green rupee in it, which is far more valuable than anything else we've seen in this escape tunnel. And doesn't look like much there in Hazula's hut. Though. Oh, there was the lamp, of course. I'm like, I thought I saw something red, but my eyes were tricking me. Yes, the lamp is good. Yeah, Jet has the lamp and the Master Sword, so that means that Aghanim's Tower could be a play, though you want to make sure to have, either the Moon Pearl or some means of caring about the Dark World at the moment. And the Master Sword. So yeah, apparently my eyes can't see today. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Alright, Jet working his way into Eastern. Meanwhile, Problem's fumbling around in the dark trying to find the chest in the dark escape. Finds the Moon Pearl! Oh! Wow! That, my friends, is a huge find. So that dark escape chest is one of the last ones you end up checking a lot of times. Now that being said, Jet has the lamp, so it won't be a problem. Alright, Jet finds a banana hat, except that there's no banana here to be found on that sprite. That's the blue male. Oh yeah, that is actually true. South Shore, after getting the pearl, is pretty good, because that allows you to do that fake flipper glitch and get all the items in that waterfall cave. Jet picking up the big key there in Eastern Palace, so he'll be able to check the big chest. Wow, there's a banana hat emote. What? Anyway, so we got plenty of people cheering on their runners in the chat. I love it. I love it so much. It might be a thing. Like, you might have a thing where Aga is required by the logic, but the waterfall cave would skip it. Well, I don't know, because we know where the hammer is, and like, the only thing that could make that happen is if the flippers are on the pyramid and both gloves are in the waterfall cave. Yep. Lord Zeno, I'm gonna win this race because I'm the one. Yeah, I'm doing the commentary and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be in go mode faster than both of these players. So Jet's going into escape. He's gonna pick up the veritable treasure trove that is down here, both the hammer and the mirror, and then the Moon Pearl. Yeah, I think Dude will actually be in go mode faster than me, on account of being our illustrious tracker and knows more about this than I do. Alright. So ProblemsIRL is making the fake flipper play. So we will be able to see what we get from Hobo, or the waterfall cave, many different things. Hobo just has piece of heart. While Jet will be heading down to pick up that all-important single rupee from Zelda's chest. That's unfortunate. He did save and quit and didn't go to Hobo. Or didn't go to Zora. Having that Moon Pearl. That's okay. Ooh. Yeah. It is not a necessarily easy way to fake flipper. Also looks like we have a green pendant in Ice Palace. Based on what ProblemsIRL just picked up from Sahasrahla. Alright, Jet is going back in to pick up the Moon Pearl. Couldn't set up a death warp. Decided it was a good time to save and quit, head back. Alright, so ProblemsIRL will be heading into Eastern Palace to do the same thing that Jet did a little while ago, while Jet will be picking up the Moon Pearl in short order. There it is. And he's going to just take a death here because it looks like he's going to make the play on Ganon. I don't know. Perhaps he wanted an additional heart. He could have used the mirror, that is true. I mean, it's possible that you just forget you have the mirror. That's a thing. Alright, so Jet doing the spin strat to get rid of the ball and chain guards. Those ball and chain guards, despite being a different color, are basically exactly the same as the one you fight next to Zelda in the basement. Meanwhile, ProblemsIRL still making his way through Eastern Palace, skillfully dispatching the room full of Stalfos. Or that's half as full when you pull off the glitch. Jet gonna be walking up the tower here. You're not gonna find any items in Agonim's tower. There are a couple of what we call chests in Agonim's tower. However, they will both contain small keys. All the small keys. The latest song from Link 182. And here we go. So, with Jet on his way up Agonim's tower, I have a question for you, chat. Do you have a guess as to how many blue balls will we see? Ooh, Jet gets knocked off the walkway there in Agonim's tower. That can be a little tricky to get through. It looks like Problems will be doing the fake flipper again to get to Zora. Alright, we see a lot of guesses for the number of blue balls. And there's a blue ball. Alright, so we got the tempered sword. There in the waterfall cave, I assume. Ooh, there's 4. And we've got more lightning. Oh, wow! So many blue balls. That's number 7. This will finish it, though. Or 8. Oh, wow. I guess not. Ah! This will be 9. 10. What? There we go. Finally. Aghanim goes down. And it turns out that the Gamble to Zora did not prevent this from happening. They will get the same amount of blue balls. There's the power glove on the pyramid. And that's gonna do it. Yeah, the blue balls will be the same on ProblemsIRL side, so both players will be getting that same amount. They used to take it out completely, but nowadays it's just nowadays they make sure that the RNG is the same. And I am joined now by Solski. Hello!
Hello, everyone. How's the match going so far?
Well, it sure is a thing. We've had some Aghanim required stuff going on here. One of the highest blue ball counts I've seen in a while. Had 10 of them.
Oh wow, double digits. That's pretty high.
Yep, it's not as high as it can possibly be, but it's pretty stinking high. So Jet has made his way into the Dark World, found the glove on the pyramid. So there you go. Didn't find much in Hype Cave.
But we did see a map on Jet's side. It looked like it was Thieves Town was Crystal 5 and Pod Crystal 6 for the Fat Fairy play, and I believe Ice Palace was Green Pendant.
Yes. We did see Ice Palace Green Pendant a little while ago when Problems talked to Sahazrala, but we also noticed that Turtle Rock is the remaining pendant. And with those crystals and pendants locked in, we can start calculating the pedestal hype index. We can figure out which items can be there and which items can't. So one such item that can be there is the hook shot.
Looks like at this point, yeah, hook shot, boots, flute, and maybe a medallion that'd be required for Meyer.
Yep. But aside from that, the bow can't be there because Eastern Palace is a pendant. Neither of the rods can be there because you need them to kill Trinex. And there's just some bombs from the digging game after what looks like, a metric ton of digs. I think it was like 25 or something.
I think metric ton was pretty appropriate there.
Yeah, we can't have Titan's Mitts there because you have to have them to get into both Ice Palace and Turtle Rock.
Alright, so Problems is setting up his fight all the way to Frown Town there with the 10 blue balls incoming.
Frown Town indeed. I think this is the last one. Nope. Nope, we got more. There's the Titan's Mitts. What are you doing? Jet, what are you doing? Really? Nice. I guess he figured the key and the map were left.
That's indeed what was left.
Though I guess by checking his inventory, he used about the same amount of time it would have taken to open those chests. But that is what he was doing. I should have known that. Alright, so Jet has the Power Glove and the Mirror and the Hammer, which gives him access to all of the light side of Dark World, and he also has the Titan's Mitts, which he just got in the basement of, or the backside of the escape. So, he will be able to access basically the entirety of Death Mountain, minus 3 chests in Hookshot Cave.
Yes, he could have, and actually both players could have actually sequenced and break themselves out of a Triptagonum 1.
Really?
Yeah, so in open mode, in Escape, the way the key logic works is there's actually a play where you can grab the first key from the blue guard, and you can walk up all the way to the back 3 chests, unlocking the door that way. So they would have gotten the key in the Power Glove by that sequence break.
Yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily a sequence break you think about most of the time, because you're just like, oh, there's 2 chests this way, let's go get those, right? But
yeah,
the only problem with that is it would have locked them out of the hammer.
No, they would have still gotten the key from the back, actually, so they would have been good.
Yeah, that's true. They just would have had to come back. Wow, I never even thought about that possibility. I mean, it's very. I mean, that's a very corner case kind of play there.
It is, and it's very risky just because of the time commitment to it. But in rare occasions such as this one, it definitely could have been a big play. But yeah, both racers didn't elect to do it. Both did Agnum, and they ended up getting the glove anyways. So it could have put them a little bit longer without the Titan Mitts.
Mm-hmm. So Jet just picked up the Ether Medallion in Tower of Hera, and then picked up the big key, which is going to take him upstairs.
Yes, it is, and I wonder when he's done here if he's going to pop into Dark World on the east side of Death Mountain and check out T-Rock.
Yeah, it's a possibility. He does have the Cane of Samaria. He's you kind of want the Fire Rod before you go in there, but you can at least check what medallion is required, though, and I think that's what you were referring to.
Yeah, and it is a pendant dungeon, but if they're able to get through there with a couple of small keys, they could end up getting all the way to Laser Bridge. So it could be Laser Skip. Sorry, it could be a good play, but like I said, we're a little bit away from there. Let's see how this Hera and East Death Mountain pop out for Jet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Problems, I believe, did in fact do Aghanim 1. We watched him endure the onslaught of blue balls. Problem's just getting 20 rupees from the sick kid. And Jet drops in to say hello to Trolldorm. Hello, Trolldorm.
Yeah, should make quick work of that with the hammer and Master Sword.
Yep, so the Master Sword or the hammer spins doing the same amount of... Or, other way around. The, the hammer or the Master Sword spins. Doing the same amount of damage to Moldorm. Need 3 hits. And Jet finishes that off, picks up his first crystal.
I'll admit I would have appreciated the hammer spins a little bit more.
Yeah, hammer spins would be pretty nice. But unfortunately, I don't think they allow you to do that. Well, the way you hammer spin is first you go into the game and you change the code so that you can hammer spin.
Alright, so Jet's actually making his way right now for the warp at T-Rock, so this is going to be interesting. We're going to see right away what medallion it is.
Yep, you could make the weird play of just going in, but it's Bombos, so he will not be jumping in at the moment. Alright, so Jet will be heading into the Super Bunny Cave from the back entrance. Or the top entrance.
So interesting enough with the route diversion here, it looks like Problem's going to elect to go into Thieves first.
Yep, into the West Dark World play. We've got Thieves Town and potentially Skull Woods on his radar.
Most definitely a very classic play in Randomizer in this logic to kind of chain together Thieves and Skull together.
Alright, so Bugnet first chest in Thieves Town. Oh, I was mistaken. You can't access any chests in Hookshot Cave yet, because you need the boots to get the first one. There's half magic for Jet. You certainly can't go wrong with half magic. And we come into the 5-chest cave here in East Death Mountain, otherwise known as the Paradox Cave. And there is big love on both sides. And there's the big key.
Yeah, just a bunch of hearts and rupees. Kind of useful in the early going, not so much for his rupee count because he's already at 1200 plus, but more for the hearts. Always welcome early on.
Yep, if you want potions, you got them. So it looks like Jet... Where will Jet be heading next? Spiral Cave, right. It's called the Paradox Cave because inside the cave you fall down a hole, and when you come out that hole, or when you come out the entrance that you fall down to, on the map you're actually above where you entered the previous cave. So it's sort of this paradox about locations. There is a bee in a bottle. So we get B-Torp's blessing here in Spiral Cave. ProblemsIRL making his way through Grasshopper Alley. With the blue mail, it's not that scary.
Yes, but they are always annoying.
Yep. Ideally, you want the boots to go through here because you can just dash right through them, no matter what you've got. Assuming you've got a bow. Bow? A sword. A sword. The thing that you use to slash with to kill things. That thing.
I thought that was the bow. I mean, we got bow dash, hammer spins.
Yep. Bow dash, hammer spins. I don't know. Cane medallions. We'll just throw stuff together.
Alright, so it appears like Jet is going to make a similar play now to Problems, heading into Dark Village of Outcasts in the Dark World here, and probably will end up going to Thieves as well.
Yep. He could go to Thieves, he could go to Skull. It looks like he's heading south into the village. I've noticed a lot of times the meme play today is go to Skullwoods. Because there tends to be a lot of things in Skullwoods. I think that was the last item in Thieves Town.
Yes, it was.
But I could have counted.
Yep, no, Compass will be at blind.
Yeah. If we get the chance, I'd like to see Solsky have a credit on the screen. But I don't want to bug people for it.
Alright, so Problems entering his battle with blind right here. Fire Shield and Blue Mail should be a fairly easy fight for him. It is quite scripted, and if he happens to take any kind of stray bullet damage, he will be absorbing it with that shield. And does, in fact, make quick work of him. Very nicely done.
Quite a good fight for Problems.
Yep, meanwhile, Jet making his way about to grab his big key in Thieves. So I imagine Problems from here is going to, he's going to elect to go north and head into Skull now. And as you mentioned before, in this current logic, Thieves is usually very rich in progression.
So Thieves usually has lots of things. Skullwoods is the meme of the day. So Problems making his way into Skullwoods, gonna get some items here and there.
Yep, it could be a quick visit too if he doesn't, if he either gets both items early and it's not the fire rod, or if he gets locked out. It's only gonna cost him a couple minutes. Honestly, it's a very good value check right now.
Yep, you never know what you're gonna find in here. But right now he has not found a small key, which means he's going to have to go into our guaranteed key room. It's gone from guaranteed key to not guaranteed key and back to guaranteed key again.
Yes, we have had some logic changes throughout the last couple of months here with this room. Basically, to prevent any kind of key locks, they've defaulted it back to a guaranteed key in case you happen to fall into the pit.
Ooh, speaking of falling into the pit. Alright, so Problem's gonna set up this bomb jump. It looks good to me, and there we go. Just finding 20 rupees in the big chest. And it looks like he will probably be having a look at the vanilla big key chest here. Yeah, I will admit those were some very nice looking pinball strats there in Skullwoods.
Yes, quite entertaining way to get through it quite quickly. Alright, and Problems is going to utilize the red cane here to make quick work of this Gibdo room, just to kind of sneak on by without having to waste any time with the statue. And he's only going to find a small key here, so he can't actually progress any further in Skull, so he's basically just going to peace out, and maybe he's going to check North Dark World now and just get a scout on what Bumper Cave and the Graveyard Ledge have for him.
Indeed. Yeah, that's always a pretty good check, because you don't want to have to come back here if you can get this information early. The cape is able to be found, and the boots are on the Bumper Cave.
Oh wow, that's a massive scout early on.
Yeah, so Jet has the cape, so if he goes up there, he will get the boots.
So what we're probably going to see Problems do here is he's probably on his way to check out Graveyard. He might actually elect to mirror out, not mirror back in, and then check out the back 3 chests and escape while he's here. Meanwhile, Jet having his fight with Blind right now. Similar situation, Fire Shield, everything like that. Should be no problems for him. And indeed takes him down for that mighty compass. Oh wow, the flute for Problems in that Graveyard Ledge Cave. That's a great find here. So he's found boots and now flute. He must be very happy.
That's quite a lucrative North Dark World.
Oh, unfortunately, he's actually skipping the back 3 chests now and going right to check that flute. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's going to put him off the path for Titans for now.
Yep. If everyone would please rise for our national anthem. I am the duck of swag. I cause a little lag. But you've got this in the bag, 'cause you set me free. And if you should forget all the things you have left, well then here's your best bet. Just flute to 3.
I have to ask, how long did you practice that for?
A while. That's one I've done before.
Dr. Bob Tastic's greatest hits, everyone.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any new lyrics, so I just used an old one.
Alright, so Problem's electing to flute to 1 here. He's going to check out Old Man, and then he's probably going to head up to Hera as well and probably do East Death Mountain, but he will not have the Titan mitts for that trip. Now, if I do recall as well, Cape was in Hera.
Yeah. Cape was dropped by Moldorm himself, so Problems may be going to get that right now.
Right, so you're going to actually see Jet. Once he gets into Hera, he might actually just leave East Death Mountain and go right for those boots.
It's entirely possible. Though I feel like it might be a better call to look at some of the things here on East Death Mountain, but you never know.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jet's actually going to elect to do the south route here, utilizing his Titan mitts, and actually saving and quitting with the purple chest, electing not to walk.
Yep. I think he's already checked like the South Grove chest and some other places, so this takes care of all that extra walking you'd have to do.
Absolutely, a very sharp play by him. A little unfortunate he didn't have the flute just to save a little bit more time, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal at this point.
There's the bow! The bow in the purple chest! My goodness!
Oh yes, that's going to send him right to Eastern Pod combo then, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Palace of Darkness, Eastern Palace. This is a plan. Now, I think they've both been into Eastern already, and it is a pendant, so I don't know if they'd actually continue, but you never know.
Yep, and that's exactly what it looks like Jet's going to go right now. So him going to Eastern Pod actually is going to put him a little bit away from that flute to boots combo that he would love to have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, he's going to be able to knock out the other, the Crystal 6 pods. So honestly, it's a pretty understandable trade. But he's definitely going to want to route that North Dark World soon.
Very true. The two players win-loss standings. We've got Jet on 2 and 1, and Problems on 1 and 2. This is the pair down match between the 2 wins and the 1 wins.
Yeah, and even though it is a pair down match, Problems and Jet are two very strong, very excellent racers. So, standings aside, this is a very great matchup for us here today.
Yep. Problems ran into some juggernauts on the way up, so.
Oh yes, he did.
All right, so Problems picks up that cape, and he is excited.
Yeah, I think he's ready for some speed here.
Yeah, well,
also, for the location
of the right side.
Sorry. Also, for the location of the boots, he's actually going to be able to now check out Graveyard not Graveyard. Yes, Graveyard, King's Tomb, and the Bonk Rocks right there as well.
Mm-hmm. The 2 flanctuary items, as they're sometimes called, on account of being on both sides of Sanctuary.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jet making his way through pod here, going through the track room.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that east side that's bow locked. Getting a couple chests over there. Looks like they were both keys. And that's the thing with Palace of Darkness. It's a bit like a mullet. You get business in the front, party in the back.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. So, Jet pulls a 5-arrow upgrade out of that chest. Yeah, Mullet Mansion is a good name, I've heard. All right, so Problem's gonna go through and grab 7 chests in the Paradox Cave, from which he will receive the half magic, and that's about it. Yeah, it's a bit like a mullet. You never know what you're gonna get. I mean, wait, what? Let's see. So Jet will be heading toward Party Central, or in the back. Gonna get several items here. And small key in that chest as we head down into the basement area with the anti-fairies and the rupees, and more rupees in a chest, and another small key in the chest. So we've got a chest just south of the room upstairs, and then the dark maze.
I'm actually quite interested to see what Jet gets here, particularly in the dark maze.
Aha! There's a bottle with blue goo in it. I'm okay with that. I'm told there is an eternal debate over whether that is Baja Blast or Voltage. You guys can decide. Jet picks up a burrito. It's actually hair gel. Nice. And the Bombos medallion. We know what that means. Bombos medallion can let you into Turtle Rock, also Ice Palace.
Yeah, and he doesn't quite have the flippers yet, so he could sequence break to ice, but at this point with that Red Cane, Titan, Hammer, and Bombos, he might elect to go there for T-Rock.
Yep, we could definitely have a play down at Turtle Rock.
Yes, meanwhile, Problem's going to grab his boots right now.
Mm-hmm. Gotta love them boots. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier before, early boots is very advantageous for a racer. It comes down to actually a couple minutes gain, depending on when your opponent actually will end up grabbing them.
Yep. Now, of course, using the boots effectively, especially in a randomizer situation, there's the flippers in the bonk rocks.
Oh
Whew.
my. So now if he does find Titans, he might be thinking Ice Palace before T-Rock.
So yeah, using the boots effectively can be a challenge, especially in randomizer when your routing is not fixed. Problem's doing the nice little trick where you can bonk without bonking. And a bottle, that's the fourth bottle in the King's Tomb.
So I'm wondering if he's going to grab his Titans now.
Nope, he's fluting away.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's gonna be sad. He's really got to go in there and get those Titans mitts. I mean, if he did the counting in Hyrule Castle, he knows that there's only one item there, and so he's like, it's just one item. But it's one extremely important item.
Right, and it is in back 3, so that is quite the quick check. So it's at the point where either he's electing that it's only one item to skip, or perhaps he just has kind of put it away in his mind and hasn't remembered about it yet.
Yep. So he finds a piece of heart in Agonist Cave. Meanwhile, Jet finishes off the Helmasaur game for his third crystal.
That's very nice by Jet. So that does give him the crystal advantage right now, but he is still missing boots and the flute right now.
So it looks like Problems, having acquired the flippers, is heading to Swamp?
And Jet might be making the same play here.
Perhaps. Swamp without the hookshot doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't, but he's also missing the Titan mitts at this point, so he might feel that he's going to find something in here that either will lead him to the Titan mitts or will give him the Titan mitts.
Yeah, it's possible. Jet, however, is doing the Fat Fairy play.
That's because it was Fat Fairy.
Palace of Darkness and Thieves Town were crystals 5 and 6. Which means we can get this large explosive and start wrecking stuff.
Yeah, he's also taking advantage of the Aga 1 warp here by going warping into Light World and going to race back into Dark World very quickly.
So, interestingly enough, although this bomb is more powerful, it doesn't damage you. So, nothing there in the Fat Fairy Cave, just a big heart and 50 rupees.
Interesting to see where he's going to go next now.
It looks like he might be making the play on Catfish.
Not a bad call. He doesn't have flippers yet. I mean, he's kind of checked most of everything else right now that's available to him as well.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't checked the North Dark World, and that's where the value's gonna lie for him. Problem's gonna come inside and look at a few chests here in Swamp Palace. You gotta hope for his sake he finds something like the hookshot or something. Though hookshot in Swamp is super troll.
Yeah, he definitely wants to find something here. He will not feel good if he doesn't find anything and then goes back to that back 3 for value.
And then Jet's gonna go purchase something from Zora. Yeah, you definitely do need the Titan's mitts to get the purple chest, which is the bow in this case. So just bombs from Zora, which we saw on problem side, and here we go. Alright, Jet heading out of the sanctuary, and we will be heading to check a few other things. I think this might be the North Dark World check. Which would be ideal. Now, Problems, once again, checking Swamp Palace doesn't have the hook shot, so he's going to have to go up and fall down a couple of times to check both of these chests here on the left side. And then, of course, if he finds nothing, then that's it. That's all he can do in Swamp.
Yeah, and only getting 3 bombs here. He has 1 chest left.
Alright, so Jet's making the Skull Woods play at the moment. And Problems finds a piece of heart and pieces out.
That's heartbreaking.
Not Skull Woods, Swamp. Alright, so Problems going to Sank. Is he going to get his Titan's Mitt?
Has to be. He has to be making this play now.
It looks like it.
He's gonna be awfully sour.
And there we go. Problems IRL breaking through the wall with the boots, picking up the Titan's Mitt, and piecing out. Alright, so looks like we've got ourselves a race again.
Indeed we do. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here now.
Oh.
I don't know.
He's up on Death Mountain. I don't know where he's going to go. Ah, he's just fluting away. He was getting a little bit of old man love before taking off.
I was wondering if he was going to want to check the hookshot cape, because there is one check he could do with the boots, but it looks like he's electing to check Mire Shed area now with that flute. So it is an area we didn't see in Problem or Jet's side yet, because we have not had the flute on his side.
So, hey, there's the powder. My favorite item in the game. I might have a problem.
It is a great safety item to have.
There's the butter sword on the ledge, on the desert ledge. So how many swords do you want? Is it all of them? Yes.
It was good. It looked like Problems was hesitating to see if that was worth his while or not. This might make me a little bit faster.
And Jet finds his boots.
Yeah, so he's going to be really happy to find that. And he's also doing North Dark World, so he should run into the flute as well. So he's going to get a lot of value here with Flipper's boot and flute.
So there's 50 rupees in the free chest in Desert, so Desert was in fact boot locked.
Indeed it was. So we're going to see a pretty big route divergence here, just because Jet already has the bow, and he already has access to ice and Turtle Rock right now. So it'll be interesting to see if he elects to follow in Problem's footsteps and check out Mire area first, or if he kind of tries to go for another play here.
I I think Mire area is probably the play, as both of those dungeons are crystals.
Right, and you
And
do
you can
want
beat
that, yeah, you do want that scout of Mire early too, just to see if you do have the medallion. I mean, like, he does have 2, but just in case it's Quake, you want to know if you're for sure in go mode or not anytime you can.
And I'm told it is Quake.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So it's just one more item at this point that could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to that pedestal hype, that's where Quake can be, is at the pedestal.
Yep. So the pedestal hype index at the moment accounts for the creation of the hookshot and the Quake medallion, which could be on pedestal.
Yeah, I'd say it's awfully mild. It's about a 10% chance at this point, I would say.
Pedestal hype index, I believe, is at about a 1.1. You can figure out what that's out of.
1,000. Yeah, very unlikely at this point. There's a lot of places for these guys to check right now, but it could happen.
Could very well happen. So, and Jet unlocking the bird as well. It's more swag duck time.
Are you gonna serenade the crowd?
Not this time. I like to sing it on the one that doesn't have the accompanying music in case I'm off on the timing.
Oh, fair enough. Looks like we missed Problems making very short work with Lamo with the
Oh,
sword.
the fire rod in
Oh, there it
Death.
is.
Fire rod in desert. So Problems will be checking the checkerboard cave, while Jet will be picking up the tempered sword.
Yeah, he's gonna really like that temper sword pickup. Very nice item to have. You don't really want to go the whole game with Master Sword unless you really have to.
I doubt that Jet will end up picking up Butter, because I think that was in the waterfall cave, and he's already been up there once.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like he went up there without the flippers, and I think at this point he might not. You're right, he might not go back there.
But that's not that big a deal. The difference between Butter Sword Ganon and Tempered Sword Ganon is pretty small.
Yeah, even on bosses, especially for bosses like Vitreous, when you already have bow and silvers, it's pretty minute, really.
Mm-hmm. So Problems picked up the fire rod and immediately pieced out to go to Skull Woods.
Yeah, it's a great play. You have one item still in Skull here.
Yep. And of course they can't get into Mire. Now, he already got both of the items in Desert, so he figured he'd save Lanmolas for later. Yeah, one of the first things you want to learn as you're trying to do Randomizer is how many items are in each dungeon, and how many items have I found, and what can I do to keep going? Do I need to keep going to find items, or can I stop? It's an extremely useful piece of information, and everybody should learn that.
Extremely useful, and it's very hard to break concentration and actually miscount items.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in dungeons with high key counts, such as Mire or Ice Palace.
Right. Now, Mothula here will go down with 4 pretty solid hits of the Butter Sword or the Tempered Sword. But you have to make sure not to knock him into any spikes.
I was gonna say it's like 18 hits at that point with all those spike hits.
Something like that. The Butter Sword, or the Butter Sword, didn't originally damage Mothula because it deals the same damage as the spikes in the original vanilla game. That has been updated in the randomizer. Now, ProblemsIRL found the Cane of Brian on, or Burna as it actually is, but the Cane of Brian as we call it, here in Skullwood. So Brian, if you're listening, we found your cane.
And it looks like Problems is going to be electing to clean up his south road of Darkwold now, which includes that purple chest that carries the bow, as we know.
Yep, so Problems will be catching up in items shortly.
Yeah, it's going to be very good for him. That's going to send him right to pod as well.
Yeah. So, I don't know about you, but it's looking to me like a Turtle Rock or Ice Palace play could be a thing.
Very much so at this point. I mean, they do have Fire Rod and eventually Bombos on Problem's side. And then it's going to come down to that. Which one would you rather check more? And I think they would be more inclined just to check Turtle Rock because it will contain more items, and they will be able to get the Hookshot Cave out of the way with that one check of boots. But we'll see. It'll be interesting. Yeah,
I've seen several different schools of thought on that one, and not everybody agrees on what the right play would be. Pendant Ice versus Pendant Turtle Rock.
I'll be a little biased, but I'll say that Turtle Rock does get quite ignored, I find.
Alright, so ProblemsIRL gonna get 50 rupees off of the Smiths. He may check the Magic Bat, because he has the powder, and Jet did not, at this point, have the powder. Speaking of which, Jet may also be going to check the Magic Bat.
Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Heart container! And that's what Batman had for us today.
Not the worst item. So I'd imagine Problems continues his tour of the East Kakariko Village checks. Meanwhile, let's see where Jet goes from here.
Problems has that ever so valuable purple chest in tow. Gonna pick up that bow. And there it is.
Looks like
Problems
Jet
has one less problem.
Indeed he does, and it looks like Jet is making a play for Skull now. Similar to Problems, having that early Fire Rod. One item left, might as well go finish it. It is a crystal.
Yep. Now after Skullwoods, where do you think he's headed?
Like I said, I'm biased. I'd like to see the T-Rock play. I feel like there's more items, and T-Rock has been heavily weighted, I find, in V26. But with Ice Palace, it'll be a quicker clear, and it is a green pendant. That could be the exciting play.
So there's Ice, there's Turtle Rock. He could also do what Problems did a while ago and check the beginning of Swamp, though. That's something you want to avoid if you can.
Yeah, I don't see Jet taking that left side gamble, just because at this point he's got a lot of progression early on. It is an hour 9, but he is 4 crystals in with quite a bit. Only a few items away from go mode. Really looks like just Quake and Hookshot at this point. So I would definitely see him go for one of the either the Ice Rock or Ice Palace or T-Rock plays.
Okay, so Jet gonna get in here and abuse Mothula to death. Fire Rod and Tempered Sword hits. There we go. And Jet picks up his 5th crystal.
Oh, he's got to be happy with that at this time.
Indeed. So, we've got 2 items left for go mode. Those are the Hookshot and the Quake Medallion.
Right, so what we're probably going to see here is Jet, I think he'll find either Quake or Hookshot in either location he checks, and that'll probably follow him to the next play he makes.
Alright, so Jet is heading into Ice Palace. So the Ice Palace play is being made.
Honestly, with all the equipment he has, great play.
Yep, I think I like both Ice and Turtle Rock roughly equally at this point. And the only play I don't like is the first part of Swamp. Because, yeah, there are 6 items in Swamp, but you can only access, like 4 of them for the chests without the Hookshot?
Right, and as we know, Problems did have to make that play because he did not check the back 3 chests before doing that. So Jet will have that on Problems right now for time.
Indeed. So Jet has already found one of the 3 items here in Ice. That is the 10 arrows in the first chest.
Meanwhile, Problem's cleaning up Pod quite quickly with those boots in tow, just making his way through the Dark Room now. We'll be heading over to the Dark Maze and then onwards towards Helmasaur.
Alright, so Jet coming up on the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, which is an excellent trick, and one that I recommend to be one of the first ones you learn as you're doing this. It saves so much time in Ice Palace. Now, of course, when you're checking items, it doesn't save that much time.
No, it doesn't, but you're definitely going to want to do it. Especially since he, if he does get a quick 3 items, he'll go right to Cold Stare, I would imagine, for that green pendant.
Yeah, that is a interesting or a valid point, Slice and Dice. If you, the one problem here is you do not have the Ice Rod yet. So if the Ice Rod is not in Turtle Rock, that would not allow you to clear it. That being said, you may not end up having to clear it. So it's a it's a gamble either way.
Oh, can you imagine Quake or Hookshot at at Trinex?
Gross.
Yeah, that's almost right up there with the pedestal, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Hookshot and Quake are go mode, Filthy Cur, on account of Quake being required for Misery Mire. This room that Jet's in, I really hate this room because I'm just garbage at it.
Oh, the shadow room there with the anti-fairy. Yeah, it is challenging.
No, the one south of it, the one with the ice.
Oh, the firebar one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just bad. Anyway, so Jet is about to do a trick. This is the secondary Ice Palace bomb jump that you have to do if you don't have the hook shot and you don't want to go around in circles.
Yeah, very slick bomb jump. Traditionally, you want to position yourself as low as you can to that ledge and move to the right, as we're going to see Jet do here.
Well done. That's a masterclass in how to do that bomb jump.
Yeah, great work.
It looks like we have 2 of the items now. We found a pack of bombs. And let's see what we get now. Problems finishing off Helmosaur, by the way.
Yeah, at this point, I would imagine they're going to want to see Cold Stare having the final item, just because then it allows them to extend that check with the green pendant coming up.
Yeah, I feel like Jet will go kill Cold Stare regardless of if he finds the last item, just because of the green pendant. And I think we just found out that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad play this late in the game. I mean, there are, they have checked most of the game world at this point, minus a couple of dungeons here, so to leave that green pendant would be awfully risky.
Yes, as you said, the 3rd item will be on Cold Stare, so that helps.
Alright, and Problems electing to head towards probably going to be Dark World Death Mountain T-Rock here.
Yep. If I were Problems and I were standing there, I might be thinking about Spike Cave. But you never know.
You are right. I don't believe both of our runners have checked Spike Cave yet.
Alright, so 10 arrows from Cold Stare, and that's a big bust in Ice Palace unless the green pendant leads to an item.
Indeed, and a very excellent Cold Stare fight from Jet as well.
ProblemsIRL is opening Turtle Rock, so we will get to see what's in there. Looks like Jet will be picking up the Butter Sword.
Very, very sharp and wise play here. Knowing that he didn't check that waterfall cave, he's right here. This is excellent routing from Jet.
Yeah, that was real good. That probably played into his decision to go to Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Problems is going to check out the Super Bunny Cave. He was not able to check that last time he was up at East Death Mountain because he was missing the Titan Mitts. He's now going to check that on top. He's also going to be able to check out the one chest and hookshot cave that Jet wasn't able to check.
Yep. I have seen the hookshot in this chest before, and it's hilarious.
Literally the worst. You can't help but laugh, and any kind of fetch that leads to the hookshot from that chest too, it's the exact same feeling.
But just 5 bomb upgrade today, so unless ProblemsIRL wants to pull some sort of god trick and start hovering all the gaps, we will not be seeing those right now.
He could try, but luckily we have Swamp Palace as a crystal here as well, so we're not going to see very much hovering today.
Right. So, Jet is making his way to Sahasrala's hut to try to pick up whatever he's got in store. Just 20 rupees, and so Ice Palace is a complete waste of time.
So that's Problem's way of catching up here now.
Unless pedestal is a thing.
Yeah, you are right. I was actually really hoping for Ice Rod at Green Pendant, and then try next maybe having a progression item. That would have been really slick.
So, Problems is doing the backwards method of doing these torches because you have to when you do not have the hookshot.
Yeah, he won't be able to use any hookshot shenanigans cheating this puzzle room, so he is going to have to do the vanilla route here to get through this door in time.
There's the hookshot! It's inside Turtle Rock.
Alright, so does he stay or does he go?
And Problems is piecing out right now.
He might be checking out Hookshot Cave first.
Yep. Hookshot Cave. Could also do Spike Cave. You never know. If the Quake Medallion is in here, this is a heads-up play.
Absolutely. So similar to Jet's keen eye for the routing, this is Problems play for excellent routing. You're early in T-Rock. You're going to have to go through that entrance again. Might as well check these 3 chests instead of going through T-Rock when you don't need to.
Yep, there's that. And he's going to go check Spike Cave.
Very interesting. So if he's going to check out Spike Cave, then I wonder if he's going to abandon T-Rock altogether.
He could. He could go finish Swamp. See if it's there. So worst case scenario here. Ice Rod in Swamp. And then Pedestal.
So I think the intriguing part of this point is, what is Jet going to do here? And it does look like Problems is going to save and quit. I imagine he's going to go to Swamp now. Does Jet stay in T-Rock?
Jet having a little bit of a problem, realizing that he has to go the other way.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but he's going to be able to come back around now and just redo this torch puzzle here.
Alright, so once again, if it turns out that the Quake Medallion is in the back of Swamp, then that's going to be a huge play for Problems. Jet picks up his hookshot, and he's going to continue with the dungeon.
Oh, this is awesome. So this is going to come down to basically Swamp or T-Rock at this point. There's still plenty of race to be had, and G-Tower Big Key could be a big influence factor of how these racers do, but right now, this is the factor.
Alright, and Jet finds a small key and continues down.
I should also mention, since Problems has already been in here, this is going to be a very quick dip for him.
Yep, he's going to head to the back and check whatever he needs to.
And I wonder, I would have to wonder that's influencing his decision here, because it is a crystal. He knows there's still items here, and he knows it's going to be a very quick trip versus T-Rock being a pendant.
Indeed. Alright, so Jet picks up a key. He's going to head to the Vanilla Big Key chest in hopes that it is the Quake Medallion. Nope, it's a mirror shield. That's going to make, it's at least going to make the laser bridge easier.
Yes, it is, and they already do have Blue Cane and Cape in tow, so we do know within logic, Laser Skip could have Quake.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Problems draining the swamp and gonna head down to a couple of chests down here. Finds the book and the big key. Oh boy. The book could be a thing.
And the troll possibilities are increasing here. You know how you had that hype possibility? Well, the troll possibility, the forecast is at like 60%.
Mm-hmm. Pedestal hype index still pretty low. Troll and oh ho! The troll index is real. Jet picks up the Quake Medallion in Mimic Cave. That is it. Jet has achieved Go Mode.
That's huge for him here. Now he's going to get through with that quick swamp play and a very quick mire if he gets that early big key.
Oh, wow. So, Jet on his way to finishing this seed. Problem's liable to get trolled by the book a bit here.
Yeah, that troll index is at an all-time high, like you said, because now with that book, he might elect to check Ether and Bombos. In fact, why wouldn't you? I mean, Bombos is right by Swamp, and Ether's on the way to T-Rock, so it's just going to make it even longer for him now to go back.
You might even check Pedestal.
He might, but like you said, and I'm going to say is you can't really fault him for that play at all. Honestly, it was a straight 50-50 decision.
Alright, so Problems. Gonna check that Bombos tablet. Meanwhile, Jet's gonna show us how Swamp is done when you're in Go Mode.
Yeah, the always famous 2-minute swamp play coming up.
Go Mode Swamp is super fast. Walk in, kill some dudes, grab a key. Walk up the stairs, grab a pot, grab a key. Walk down the stairs, grab a pot, grab a key. Go up in the next room, knock down some stuff, make some water appear.
Oh no! Problems is going into ice.
Oh man.
Oh, this is assuredly the end of Problems here.
So, Problems, unfortunately, making the gamble on skipping the rest of Turtle Rock, and that's gonna bite him.
It's even
Definitely
worse
right now.
Yeah, because it's green pendant, so it's 4 items versus 3-2. Oh. Meanwhile, Jet making quick work of Swamp, as we mentioned, with that 2-minute timer on him for the Go Mode Swamp.
So, I don't think Jet is going to have many problems at all with the remainder of the seed. We're going to have, he's going to have Butter Sword, he's going to have Silvers, he's got Blue Mail, which is not Red Mail, but good enough. And so, everything else should just fall in short order.
Yeah, these racers are going to have no problem with the rest of the game for the equipment they have, except for problems with that big problem of not having the Quake yet.
Yes, Blue Mail is not Red Mail, the sort of heads-up analysis you can expect from Dr. Bob Tastic.
Yep, you have to win the game to win the game.
Yep. The key is you got to score more points than the other team. Anyway.
So we're seeing Jet make very quick work of Argus here, while Problems nails that bomb jump first try.
Yeah, so there's two real schools of thought on that. You can have the, you pick up the hook shot and you think, okay, the odds of there being an item here are small now, because there's not that many items left. But I'm already up here. So that's the trade-off. It's time versus expected items. And I think it comes out pretty even in the wash.
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that he has he cleared Ice Palace, that is correct, did give him more incentive to stay there on Turtle Rock. So it's just sort of an up and down for Problems. It's like he found the hook shot and we're like, all right, he's in the lead, and then he left. And then Jet found the Quake there, and that's probably going to spell the end for Problems here.
Yeah, I think it was starting to get a little troublesome for him when he couldn't find those Titans, and I think it really got troublesome when he got to T-Rock and kind of pieced out.
Yeah, I'm told that 100% of our winners in this tournament entered the Triforce room first.
Huh, you don't say.
It's a pretty good statistic, I think. The mushroom in Misery Mire. Would you like to do a fetch quest? Nope.
I don't know. Jet might get hungry on his way to G Tower. Still looking for that big key. I wonder if he's going to skip the vanilla big key location here and the torch room. And indeed he is.
Hey, speaking of the red mail, there it is. Alright, so Jet picking up a small key, and now he'll be heading to the vanilla big key location. So we'll get our 14-second cutscene that seems to last 14 years.
Yeah, it's extremely time consuming. You'll actually see some players elect to skip it, go to right side just because of this cutscene time loss here.
Alright, so 8 fire rod shots and cold stare takes some damage and then gets just summarily wrecked by those fire rod shots. ProblemsIRL finishing off Ice Palace, and Jet finding the vanilla big key in the vanilla big key location.
And there we go. So he's going to be on his way to Vitreous. Problems having a very nice cold stare fight there with the combination of Butter Sword and Fire Rod.
Indeed. Jet heads downstairs into Misery Mire dark rooms, which thankfully he doesn't have to do in the dark. That move right there is basically the hard part of these dark rooms, is putting that block on the switch. Nice little cane dash.
Meanwhile, Problems checking in his green pendant here. He's probably going to go back to T-Rock anytime now. And will, I would imagine, elect to check Ether on his way up.
Yep. So Problems... I'm not sure where he's doing the pedestal check. Alright, so... we're gonna have a minor pedestal hype index, but we know it's not going to be anything useful. This Problems, in fact, will be debated in 3, 2, 1. Just couch cash.
Just the money.
And Problems now making the play, heading back up to Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, Jet has finished. Misery Mire gotten his 7th crystal, and we all know what that means. It's time for the Ganon's Tower Big Key Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know where you think the big key in Ganon's Tower will be located. If you have a number you'd like to go with between 1 and 22, there are 22 possible locations. Or if you have a specific location that you'd like to talk about. 23 buried outside the tower seems good. But if you have a specific location you'd like to check or a number, just type that in chat right now, and if you guess correctly, you will win a fabulous prize.
Where do you think it's going to be, Bob?
Well, as you just implied, I am contractually obligated to choose Bob's chest every time.
I'm pretty partial to the Firebar room, so I'm going to choose that chest.
Alright, Firebar room it is. So that's the vanilla map location, and on the standard-ish route, that would be number 8, I believe.
You would be correct.
Alright, so Jet making his way into Ganon's Tower. Let's see what we get. So he's going to check the first 2 chests on the right side. This is a standard play, and we'll see what he does afterwards. The first chest is 20 rupees. The second chest is a piece of heart. We will be seeing no right side play today.
Yeah, that's going to force him onto the left side unless he elects to do the Dark Magician route coming up.
Yeah. The tile room is another possibility. There's a key on the torch, so rip me. And so for those of you who don't know who Bob is, he's a little glitch sprite that shows up in the room above Ice Armos, but he only shows up if you don't remove the item from that torch. It's very strange. More small keys. Group of bombs and the big key.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big key was in location number 7. The 4th chest checked in the Stalfos room. So Jet, having 4 small keys and a big key, will be able to get up the tower no problem.
Absolutely, and that's going to make for a very quick G-Tower time for Jet as well now.
So if you guess 7, ladies and gentlemen, what do they win? Solsky?
I'm going to say free internet points that are meaningless.
Yep, fabulous prize it is. Free internet points, ladies and gentlemen.
Meanwhile, Problem's getting his mirror shield, and the vanilla big key will be heading over to Mimics very shortly here. Going to be getting that Quake, and yeah, might not be feeling too good about it.
I get the feeling he might use it immediately in frustration.
Yeah, it's going to be a very frustrating spot for him, I would imagine, unfortunately. But that's Rando. I mean, 1 seed, that's going to be the play, and 1 seed, it's T-Rock.
And there it is, Quake Medallion. Problem's gonna flute out as soon as he can. Ooh, nice. Not getting mirrored. And he's gonna go directly to Misery Mire. Do not pass go, and do not collect $200. Meanwhile, Jet having a little bit of issues with silver arrows on Landmo 2. And Problems gets a little wrecked by a Murderdactyl because Quake does absolutely diddly to a Murderdactyl.
Yes, that was very bad mannered by that Murderdactyl.
Indeed. So, Jet making his way into the torch room, or the first of 2 torch rooms here in the way up Ganon's tower. I don't see any reason for Jet to check any more chests anywhere, so even though some of us might be clamoring against it, I don't see him opening any chests from here on out.
Yeah, he's good. He's got everything he could ever want heading towards Ganon right now.
Little issue with that bomb toss. And he's going to pick up a magic refill on the way in. Here we go.
Yeah, nice safe play, and we have Problems here just making his way through Misery Mire. Let's see if he elects to make that right side skipping the vanilla big key chest, or if he goes right for it. Sorry, big key location.
Looks like he might be going for it. So Jet finishes off Moldorm 2. I'm seeing a lot of love for Dairy Queen in the chat.
Who doesn't like it, Dairy Queen?
Dairy Queen's pretty good. I wish I knew where there was one around here. Almost gets the double there, but Aghanim fades out of existence before that happens. So Jet not getting the greatest patterns here for Aghanim 2.
He is making the most of it.
Yep. Hopefully there won't be as many blue balls as there were on Aghanim 1. Goodness.
Yeah, that looked rage-inducing. 10 blue balls from Aga 1 is... that's a lot, man.
Indeed. A record of 1 and 3 does not remove you from the tournament. You would need to reach 3 and 3, and then win the play-in race, or do well enough in the play-in race to make the next round.
Yes, I do believe it is like a 32 or 36 man race, and the top 6 from that race will continue on to the group stage. So he is still very much in it.
Alright, so Jet quickly dispatches phase 1 of Ganon. You need 6 slashes in each phase of the first 2. Jet on the second phase doing about 8 or 9 or 10, just, because there's no kill like overkill. Alright, so again, we'll be teleporting around. These are also fixed RNG elements like the blue balls for Aghanim. Did we find the arrows in the light world? I believe we did. It was in Blind's hut. And so Jet will be knocking a few arrows into Ganon. Gets the torch glitch, no problem. And 2 more shots, and that'll do it. There we go. 1, 2, and Ganon is down. And Jet finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 39 seconds.
Yeah, GG.
Congratulations to him.
Very nice race. Meanwhile, we have Problems here, making his way to Vitreous. Almost there. Just has to activate the switch real quick, and will be making his way in there very shortly.
It looks like Problems has forfeited the race. So after picking up the 7th crystal, I think he's done. But he is going to come talk to us about it, so let's bring them both in here.
This is battle.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, GG.
you know those runs where like nothing you do works?
Yeah?
This felt like that.
Yeah, I felt for their problems. It's like chat was saying and we were saying, it's not like they were really bad plays. It was just unfortunate that they didn't work out.
Hey.
I forgot about Escape. That was about the only thing I regret. Like the back of Escape runs were like the myths I just plain forgot. The rest was all like, okay, I gambled and didn't work every single time.
I was actually worried
their
that
problems. It's
like you can sequence break Escape,
we were saying it's not like
and like that would
really
have been
bad
absolutely
plays.
huge to see, because that means
It
you
was
could have
just
skipped
unfortunate
Aghanim.
that they didn't work out.
I
Yeah, you
forgot
would have.
about
I
Escape.
actually
That was
pointed
about the only
that
thing
out
I
to chat
regret.
when I
Like
joined
the back of
the
Escape,
race
that
here,
is.
but
Like
I
the
also
myths I just
mentioned that
plain
might have put you away
forgot.
from
The
Titan's
rest
Void a
was
little bit
all,
longer
like,
because it was on
okay, I
Pyramid.
gambled and didn't
Wait,
work.
how would you skip
Every
Aghanim?
single time.
Oh no, right, alright, okay, I get it. If you steal a key, wow, that's sick. But
So
who
I
does
just
that?
went under the assumption that you might have done that because, you know, Aghanim, especially with, what was it, 8
Yeah,
blue balls
you
or
would have.
something? Like, that was
Oh,
the
yeah, that
closing.
Aghanim was terrible.
And I'm like, well, gloves are on the pyramid though, so my advantage, if anyone did that sequence break, would be Titan's Myth. So I had
Wait,
to
how
run
would
with
you
that
skip
most of the time.
Aghanim? Oh no, right, alright,
So-
okay, I get it. If
what
you steal
happened,
a key, wow, that's sick.
What
But who
else
does
went wrong for you problems?
I went through Swamp before I went to the back of Escape to grab mitts and found nothing.
Okay.
Then I got my mitts and I went to T-Rock and I mirrored out as soon as I found the hookshot.
No!
Then I went back to Swamp, then I went to Ice. Like, I did basically everything. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought about mirroring out when I picked up that hook shot, but I'm like, no, you should just
I went
clear,
through
just get it
Swamp
done with.
before I went to
And
the
when I
back of
found
Escape
Quake,
to
I was
grab
actually
mitts
pretty happy
and found
about that.
nothing. I was thinking I got my mitts, I was like, those flippers hadn't as soon as I found anything yet because I'd been back to Swamp already. Then I went to Ice.
Okay.
I was like, the flippers are totally gonna unlock. I did basically everything. But nope.
Well, I already did Ice. I did Ice first, and then I went to Turtle Rock. And I was kicking myself for doing that, because honestly, V26, you just go to Turtle Rock if you can.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but it
I was
seems like
thinking
your
about it,
game
and I was
audio is
like,
picking up
those
with the Discord,
flippers
so if you
hadn't
guys can
given
mute
me
your
anything
mics
yet because
on
I've been
OBS
to
or
Swamp
XSplit.
already. I was like, the flippers are totally gonna unlock Quake, are they? But nope.
I don't know how
Sorry.
to mute this.
But yeah, it was a pretty entertaining seed to watch. So problems. The question I have for you, sorry to interrupt, guys, but it seems like your
was
game
the
audio
fact
is
that
picking up
you
with
dipped
the,
into
Discord, so
Swamp
if you guys
earlier
can
and
mute
half
your mics
clear on promote your
OBS or
decision to
XSplit.
go to Swamp after Hookshot Cave?
Okay. Yes, for sure, because I was there. Like, the way the game just gave you the flippers made me think they would unlock something.
But yeah, that was
because
it was
cave,
a pretty
you
entertaining
grabbed the
seed
mirror to
watch.
get the cave,
So
you used the
problems,
cave to get
question
the
I have for
boots, you
you,
used the
big
boots
one
to get
was,
the flippers.
Was
It
the
kinda
fact that
just
you
screamed,
dipped into
you know,
Swamp earlier and half
flippers
clear,
to me, and I thought Swamp or Ice Palace would have something. And the fact that I'd been there already and I knew there were still, like, 4 items or so, it just made me just go back.
right? And that's what I mentioned is it wasn't a bad play at all to make that play because honestly, it's a 50-50 coin flip from the remaining items in T-Rock versus that Swamp Palace play.
Yeah, there's 5 items in T-Rock, and then there's, like, 3 or 4 what was left in Swamp, and then also the items in Ice Palace. So it wasn't bad, it just didn't work out.
Right, and like I said, that's what I mentioned is like they weren't bad plays at all. Like you didn't really make a bad play. It's just unfortunate it had to go down that way.
Okay, so hopefully the audio will be fixed. All right, I think we're good. So thank you, runners, for your participation in this, and GG to both runners for sure.
GG.
GG. Thanks for commentating, guys. Make sure you give our commentators a follow and give Problems a follow.
Mm-hmm. give both of our runners a follow because they both did an excellent job here today. Both runners still in this tournament. There's nothing to be worried about yet. So good luck in your next round. Is there anything you two are looking forward to or looking forward to missing in the next round?
I mean, my goal, I just want to hit that coveted 4 wins, and then I'll be happy.
I'm still at 1 win, so I'm hard pressed to win my last 2 games now. Because I was 1-2 going into this. I believe I was upscaled.
You were upscaled. Well, you got this. Just
I'm gonna try.
go for some more wins.
What choice do I have?
It's not over yet, Problems. You are a very skilled racer, as is Jet, and honestly, if anyone can make 3 and 3, you certainly can.
Is there anybody who you would want to race in the next round or not want to race in the next round?
I haven't really looked at who's won 3, so I don't know. I believe Andy won, right? So I can't draw him anymore. Finally,
there's that.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's won 3, honestly.
Got somebody saying Willard. So there's that.
Yeah, hashtag never lucky.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your race, for the skill you put on today. Give both of these runners a follow. Make sure to follow the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 1, Speed Gaming 2, all the way down to Speed Gaming 4, because we've got all the rando you could stando coming your way. And for all these races. Make sure to show your appreciation to Feasel for doing the restream today. And also to our tracker dude for keeping excellent track of all the items. It's a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it. Thank you so much, dude. Okay, so does anybody else have anything they need to say?
Look forward to some more races. I don't know.
All right, good luck. Good luck to both of you in the next round.
GG.
I remember I saw on the sign-up sheet that when Problems put this match in, it said, "I'm racing against Jet. Now give me one of them Jet seeds." I don't think that happened today.
No.
Not the Jet seed, no.
This was not it. This is the opposite of Jet Seed.
Indeed. So thank you so much to both of you. Thank you, Solsky, for coming in and covering me for the rest of the commentary. I probably couldn't have done very well without you.
No worries. My pleasure.
All right. And so make sure you give everybody involved a follow because we put on a pretty good show, I think. And thank you all. So, with that, we'll be letting this stream go. We've got more races coming your way later tonight, so make sure to check those out. And thank you, everyone, for watching. I've been Dr. Bobtastic.
And I've been Solsky.
And I'll be signing off. Thank you.